What is the Sims 4 pack release without a ton of controversy even before the pack is out? That's right, my first Horse Ranch stuff. What's it called? Horse Ranch. People are already mad at Horse Ranch. Now, I was originally mad because I saw that there was a lot of recycled content. The miniature goats and sheep, they're not that different from the farm animals that came with Cottage Living. The so-called brand new cookout feature is just a glorified base game barbecue party. The little hoedown dancing is basically the group dances that you see in The Sims 4 Get Together. There's a lot of recycled and rehashed content in The Sims 4 Horse Ranch, nothing that really original. At least nothing original we've seen other than the horses themselves. Even so, that's not actually what people are talking about. So the Creator Sims stuff has leaked. Also, the build mode stuff has leaked from the pack. It does contain quite a lot of stuff, but even though people haven't been massively frustrated about the recycled gameplay, people are very frustrated about the recycled cast, and I want to have a look at it. So apparently, firstly, all of the hairstyles here, or most of them, are hairs that we've already got in the game, just slightly different. So what you see here is a hairstyle from the Growing Together pack. I've just blown up an image here from one of the new hairstyles that's coming in The Sims 4 Horse Ranch. As you can see, they're very similar, and Growing Together was only released like just recently. These are honestly like almost identical in style, like you wouldn't know the difference. Again, with this one, the one on the right is from Horse Ranch and the one on the left is from the Paranormal Stuff pack. Here's another example. Left is Horse Ranch, right is from City Living. This is also one on the right as well from Growing Together. Again, a pack that was literally just released before this one, and they're almost identical. Here's another example. The one on the right is from the Tiny Living Stuff pack, and this is the one from Horse Ranch. This is also a hair mesh from Spa Day. Here we have Horse Ranch, and we have a base game hairstyle here. We also have another similar looking base game hairstyle. And going back to the girls, the left is Horse Ranch and the right one is Island Living. And looking at the cast in general, a lot of people are saying that it looks like very just like Sims 4 base game, if you know what I mean. Like, it's not that inspired looking. It looks like all of the kind of stuff that we've had before. And even though there's a few like really nice country items, like we've got a couple of, do you call these cowboy hats? What's like the official name for these? And you know, we've got on the right here, what do you call that? Slacks or slops or something. Like, we got some things, but a lot of people are saying, well, actually a lot of this is just, you know, stuff that we've already seen before. Another thing that people are mad about, okay, is that we're not getting unicorns. How do we know? It's because we've got a fake unicorn horn as kind of like costume. So you can see we've got a long one, got a short stubby one. I mean, they could have given us an average one. Not everybody's extremely long or short. Some of us are just average. And in the case of unicorns, it appears we haven't got an average one. We haven't got a unicorn at all. We've basically got a prop where you can pretend your sim is a unicorn, unlike the Sims 3 that actually came with unicorns, which is making people mad now. So a lot of people are saying like the windows and doors look like stuff that we've already seen before. So on the right is a window from Growing Together, the just released expansion pack, and on the left is a window from Horse Ranch, which is the next release expansion after it. As you can see, they're basically the same thing. The one on the left is Horse Ranch and the one on the right is base game. Some people mentioned this one too. They're a bit different, I admit, but they are quite similar. On the left is a window from Horse Ranch. On the right is a very similar looking window from Cats and Dogs. I do admit most of the stuff here does look relatively original, as in like it suits the theme of the pack. But in the case of all of the cast though, I do wholeheartedly agree with what everybody is saying. And I feel like they should have given us original stuff, especially the men's heads. We have so many like wispy hairs like this. It's insane. If somebody from EA's watching, hire a hairdresser, pay him off $1,000 or whatever. You're not going to be hard up for it. It's not that much money for you. Ask them to show you some fades, all right? We have absolutely no fades in The Sims 4. It's like the most versatile, popular kind of hairstyle that exists in the world, yet like there's barely any fades. I think there's like one or two out of all the men's haircuts. Like, I just want Sims with a grade 1 fade. Like, is it that hard to ask? People are also kind of sad that the pack doesn't come with a mechanical bull ride. It was one of the really iconic items from The Sims 1. We also got it in The Sims 3 as well. People are also complaining that there's literally 0 gameplay items being offered other than the winemaking thing, which, although it's technically new, it's very similar to the eco lifestyle nectar making, so it's not exactly new. I'm personally though just like really disappointed about unicorns. Not for me because I genuinely don't care about horses, but I mean for the horse girlies. I'm out here speaking speaking for you. Everybody loved unicorns from the Sims 3 horses pack. I mean pets pack, because they weren't a horses pack then, it was just included in pets as standard, my mistake. I did say my original reaction trailer to the Sims 4 horses pack was disappointed. I do still feel disappointed. I'm a lot less stressed than I was back then because I had a little bit of stress. That's what made my review a little bit overly negative, even more than usual. But this one, I'm feeling really level-headed. I've had about 10 hours sleep and I've had to think on it. I've come to the decision, this little toad fake horn, that is not acceptable. There needs to be like real unicorns like there were in The Sims 3. They need to be a special kind of occult horse, and EA just aren't giving that. Clearly they're not, because it's just a fake decoration. It just boggles my mind that they genuinely don't listen to the Sims audience. I'm sorry, I couldn't care less if the Sims team are disappointed with the fact that I'm disappointed with it. Somebody from the Sims team did actually say on Twitter recently that they felt kind of bad that people were disappointed with the reaction to the pack, because it seemed to have come with a lot of criticism that other packs normally haven't done. Like, if you put your heart and soul into it, lovely, but like, you should have known better. I'm not saying that to be a bitch. I'm an end consumer and I don't have to think about the morals of the people who made the product that I'm buying. I just have to think about the product itself, because that's what consumers do. They don't care who made it. As a consumer, I expect them to go above and beyond what they did in the prequel to The Sims 4. The Sims 3 Pets right now is much better than I can imagine the horses pack will be. Lovely if the Sims team put effort into, you know, adding, you know, cute little boots. I expect a $1 billion company to give me fucking unicorns. That's what they need to do. They gave us unicorns in the game that was released, you know, more than 10 years ago, like 15 years ago, The Sims 3 was released. And even then, you know, they had the resources for unicorns. They do have the resources now. EA has the money. They have the time. It's just they can't be bothered. That's the truth. They can't be bothered to give the players exactly what they want. They instead give a half pack and say, oh, yeehaw, let's be goofy in The Sims 4 yeehaw horses pack. That was my Wild West accent. What do you think of my yeehaw accent? We pretend that didn't happen. Let's get howdy in The Sims 4 with a cowboy hand your horse. You know, I don't want to do that, and I think most of you guys don't want to do that either. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I get the impression none of you give a shit about, you know, a bouquet of flowers on a horse's head. What you want is real unicorns roaming around an open world. I think that's what you want. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what you want, and they just didn't give it to us with this pack, clearly. And I know that even before release, even before the live gameplay footage, because I know what EA's like and I know they love to disappoint. They've given us copycat things that we've literally already had before, and, you know, to rub salt in the wound, it's stuff that literally came just with Grown Together, like the last release expansion pack. An expansion pack that was released this year. We're only just like halfway through the year. Only a couple of months ago, like, they're giving us rehashed content. I mean, I could be wrong. They could be giving us unicorns and I'm gonna look really stupid. I would look really stupid. Not as stupid as leopard print leg warmers for your bloody horses. I think we're in a really weird situation with Horse Ranch, because it's starting to look like a disaster even before release. I think the last time this like majorly happened was with My Wedding Stories, although that was for very different reasons. But it's a weird one because people are so excited about the Horse Ranch pack. They have wanted horses in The Sims for ages, and to be fair, there aren't really that many like horse girl games that actually exist that are actually good, and The Sims 4 is one of the first like major games of the recent years to do that. So I completely get why people are excited, and I actually get the impression that most of the horses gameplay is actually going to be good and people aren't going to be that disappointed with it. But we've already got controversies with the duplicates of Cass and Biltmo. We've already got controversies with the lack of unicorns. We've already got controversies with the lack of gameplay. We've got controversies with recycled gameplay. We've got controversies with the fact that this is a game pack upsold as an expansion pack. We've got controversies that the world looks exactly the same as the world from Strangerville. And we still don't have it confirmed whether or not you can build a horse ranch outside of the world that's coming in this pack. And there's also a major controversy based on the fact that this is basically Cottage Living 2.0. You know, Cottage Living was the British farm animal pack, and now Horse Ranch is the American farm animal pack. I mean, British and American people, historically, we both come from the same place. We're like twin countries. Love that for us, firstly. But secondly, is it necessary to have twin packs, both of which are expansion packs? After I had my little meltdown last week, like, I came back to this with a fresh mind, and I feel so confident in everything I've said. And, you know, however much I bitch about The Sims 4, like, I genuinely from the bottom of my heart, being totally serious now, I genuinely want something to go right for them. I genuinely want them to release a pack that is so good that everybody loves it, nobody complains, but they can't help themselves and make it shite every time. Just give us the unicorns. It's not that hard. Like, literally everybody wanted it. Like, what goes through their minds? No, we don't have the money. They can't say, no, we don't have the money to do this, because EA definitely has the money. They can't say, no, we don't have the time, because they've got all the time in the world. Do you know what I mean? This game's been out 10 years. So the only other possible reason I can think of is that either they're A, not creative enough, or B, they can't be bothered, or C, both. This is like 100% pure speculation, alleged. I have no idea if this is true, but I get the impression that maybe they might have structural problems at Maxis on the Sims team, especially now they're working on the Sims 5. I get the impression maybe they took like the best of the bunch and shoved them onto the Sims 5 project maybe, and then they've just got these kind of leftover people who are working on the Sims 4. I don't know if these are people who have, you know, played the original Sims games. I don't know if these are people who know what the Sims 4 is actually about. Do they have the structure in place to do research based on what Simmers want? Do they have like a dedicated team who does that? Do they have creative directors who direct exactly what needs to be in a pack, or is it just the developers put in whatever they like after having a 1 or 2 hour board meeting? Do you know what I mean? This is honestly 100% speculation. I get the impression that there are problems going on. I think that's also why there's so many abandoned projects in The Sims 4. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, but the Sims team always say like, yeah, we're gonna refresh every single townie, and then they just abandon it. Or they're like, we're gonna update every single pack to have a bunk bed in it, which they promised after the bunk beds update, and they didn't bother doing that. Or do you remember when they said they would continue to do pack refreshes after the Spa Day refresh, but they abandoned it? I get the impression people get put into projects in the Sims team, and then they get moved around to a different team or something, so the project just gets abandoned or forgotten about. That's my general impression. If you're wondering, this is a dental floss. I've got a gristle in my teeth. Not that you needed to know. I just get the impression like they're doing something wrong, because I just genuinely, like, as an inexperienced, unprofessional person who's unskilled at video game development, like I just feel like even I could do a better job at this point. I'm not saying that from an arrogant perspective, but I'm just saying that from like a what the you doing perspective. I know I'm being a bit harsh. As I said, I'm a consumer. I don't care about the feelings of the people who made the products. I only care about the products. You know, I'm not grateful to the person or people who designed this dental floss packaging and who made the dental floss as it is. I just use it and I don't care and I don't think about it because I'm just a consumer. So with that being said, I'm gonna leave the Sims 4 Horse Ranch here and not talk about it ever again unless something else pops up until the live stream. Then we can truly see, because obviously this is all just speculation. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss my reaction to the live stream and my breakdown of everything that's gone on in it. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next one.